Every count matters. Boond boond se sindhu barta. Did my last week's talk make an impact? Still not? Still thinking? Still apprehensive? And still having that feeling that I have lived an accomplished life. Don't tell me what to do. Do listen to this talk and see what all can one do. Namaste, I'm Shubhi Mathur and I welcome you all to yet another episode of Let Us Talk. It is our privilege and absolute honor to have Mr. Satish Jamdar with us as our guest speaker today. Mr. Jamdar retired as the Managing Director of Blue Star Limited in 2016. And post that, he's been engaged in very meaningful, constructive associations. He's an investor, come leadership mentor for few startups, and is also an independent director to two very reputed public limited companies. Welcome, sir. Welcome on Let Us Talk.
For me, when I heard about what you're doing, I realized you yourself have started something new, in a way different from, and I know how tough it is when I watch YouTube and social media and how much everybody is vying for space and time. And I think it's quite a challenging thing you've taken on yourself. And for viewers, I want to say, all those who work with me, for me, with me as colleagues, which is what Shubhi has been in the last job with Blue Star. My intention is always to try and help anyone who's been associated with me. And so I want to wish her all the best. I hope the audience and speakers help her because she's doing something quite noble. And I think we need to give her that little help in the beginning to establish her even more strongly. Yeah, so that's my best of for her.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, your professional journey is something from which we all have a lot to learn. But let me share with our viewers what attracted me to have you as a guest here. And of course, it was not only your professional achievements, but few months back, I was told that you are learning Odissi dance. Now, this is something very unheard of. And we've had speakers who learn dance and they started taking dance classes. But a male learning Odissi dance is something, and in my reference or in my circle, this is something for the first time I had heard. And after speaking to you, I realized that not only dance, you had picked up learning a new instrument, new vocal. So you kept trying something new despite of a busy work schedule. So I would want to know your journey post-retirement, post-Blue Star, or maybe after 2016, that how did you get time for all this and how did it all start?
Yeah, it's very difficult to, a lot of people ask me these kind of questions and I never reflected on why. And, it's like it just happened. And then maybe when you ask a question like that, maybe you start thinking, how did it begin? What is the touch point or the starting point? So I think if I had to say something basic, very simplistic in this whole thing is that some people like change, some people like different things and diversity and experiences. And I think it's all about an attitude that you want to be there and that kind of thing. And I feel I have that attitude of, I will get bored if I stick to one thing and repeatedly do the same thing. I've never been like that, even in my professional life. So, for example, if I'm traveling, I love traveling. I like to go and see new places around the world, India itself. And India is so huge and so diverse itself. I've been doing a lot of that. I also have decided to drive around, bought a good new car. The roads are getting better. And I find that if you're traveling and don't have the food that the locals have, you're not actually experiencing their life. So instead of seeking your own food and going to an Indian restaurant, I avoid that kind of thing. So I'm just saying this, perhaps it's just the way one looks at life. Sports, I tried all kinds of games. I focused on one so that I could get better at it. And then came this, what you're talking about, music and dance. You're right, dance. When I thought I'll go and try it, I was the only male student. And Vitali is very well-known Odissi dancer. She was actually doing it for elder people. And she said, "You're my only male student I had." And, everything that you learn new changes some dimension in your life. That's what I'm seeking. I think you asked me what made you do these things. I think it's just the nature of a person. I think I can't see any other reason I can attribute this to. Why did I choose dance? This is the other thing which I thought I should maybe somewhere somebody had taught me also that I think life is about seeking and finding out what's this all about. And I've been actually delved in that for many years now. Work is one, experiencing work, doing different kinds of jobs, doing different kinds of activities is all about finding yourself. You have to know yourself as deeply as you can. So I have gone through also difficulties, I'll say. We come from a very modest family. But my dad taught me one thing. Well, my dad had even a worse start in life than I had. At least he brought us to a certain modest level. But he told me that he made it in life for whatever he started from scratch with no parents. He said to me, getting knowledge and skill, if you don't do it well, you'll not reach too far. And he was a teacher, by the way, and he really pushed me. I was the eldest son. So he really pushed me hard into learning new things and asked me to try this, try that, education-wise I'm talking about. And he also told me that, he explained to me the difficulties he went through in life. And one realized that when you go through a difficult phase in life, actually it builds your character, builds your personality, builds your confidence and your independence. And if you don't have difficulties, then I think you are missing something and building yourself. Difficulties happened, which one of the biggest one that happened to me was an illness in the family, which made me suddenly feel two times actually. Once was when I was studying in IIT, my dad had a serious financial problem, and he actually asked me to consider leaving. I was in my second year, I think. Yeah, second year. Consider leaving and find a job, because he said, I can't support you with the condition I'm in now. And it's like suddenly a rug is pulled from under your feet when you're enjoying life, and now I'll pass out and hopefully I'll get a nice job, etc. Our family didn't have any corporate background, and I was seen as the first one getting in that kind of role later. And when such a thing happens, you get, first of all, of course, you get shocked, you get troubled, you get upset, you get uncomfortable with what's happened suddenly, and the uncertainty of it can get at you. But everything worked out. My aunt gave me a loan to study, and that's how it all went through, and I finished and paid her back after I started working. So I think different things happen, and then you are willing to take on more challenges because you go through difficulties. The second one I mentioned was when my wife actually was very ill, and we didn't know what to do, so we got into this alternate healing and meditation, stuff like that. That opened a totally new world for me. I was an engineer, engineering means logic. Everything must be discrete and correct and, must flow in a certain way. And when you get into meditation and even this art and dancing and all these kind of things that I'm talking about, they're more abstract, so much has been given to you by nature. Why don't you explore? And that seeking and finding out more things is perhaps one more reason to try out things. And so just coming back, the thing is, go where you've never been before. Go where you would think you would be uncomfortable, think you can't do it, and go there and try to understand and grasp it, I think gives a totally different dimension to life. So I've been trying to practice that. Not that I haven't failed here and there. Dancing, definitely, I never thought I'd learn dancing. For that matter, you mentioned vocal. I started with an instrument. I found it very difficult to learn the sitar. Oh, strangely, after I started meditation and my mind started understanding the sound much deeper, and I started playing the sitar much better. But vocal I avoided because I said I'll never be able to sing. I didn't think I was able to sing. I thought people will laugh at me or what. You feel awkward, right? If you didn't admit it. But strange things happen, when you're thinking, should I do? I always believe the universe gives you answers whenever you're thinking deeply about something.
True.
And I saw this movie, Dancing Queen, Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan. You must have saw it, the classic. And then they were interviewing Pierce Brosnan, who, by the way, was the James Bond at one time. And he was getting interviewed, and he said, all of us have sung our songs in this movie. The director, producer wanted us to do that. It was all the ABBA songs, but they were sung by the individual. And there was no, what you call, somebody else singing for them. So Pierce Brosnan said in that interview, I never thought I could sing. But I could finally sing because I was trained how to sing. And I'm telling you, everybody can sing. And this word sort of hit my head, everybody can sing. And next few days, I was looking for a teacher to help me with how to learn vocal. And so that's definitely happened. So that's been going on. And by the way, in a lighter way, my next plan is to find how to do a stand-up comedy.
Oh, wow. This is so motivating.
Because it's the most difficult thing I feel is I've been watching, I hear so many of them. One of the toughest things to do, it needs a skill and the art, which is very difficult to sustain, keep an audience, laughing for 1 hour, not easy at all. Yeah, so I'm just saying that trying out something which you feel will be a challenge, why not? And a different part of you will wake up.
Usually I feel the people, when they retire, they have this feeling that humne bahut kar liya, we've done enough, and now don't tell us what to do and why should we do, and they have a lot of apprehensions. And so when you picked up doing dance or doing vocals and instrument is something which people usually do, but what was the reaction of your family, of your close friends? Did their reaction make you apprehensive, or it gave you second thoughts?
No, I don't think I asked for any approvals. In fact, most of the people who know me were amused at one level. They were wowed at another level. And when I showed them some clips of me dancing, they said, wow, you seem to be moving much better than before. One of the big ones I did on experience was Mr. Goenka, who does this Vipassana. Of course, now he's passed away. In my meditation experiences and journey, I ended up finally with Vipassana, which is the toughest of them. It's 11
We are
days,
soon having a talk on this also. We are going to have a talk on this topic also in May. Yes, we have it lined up.
I think one more thing I wanted to share with people, you need to plan retirement a good few years before it actually arrives. I think it's important to be financially stable. You can't have a situation where you're not planned your finances well. Secondly, you need to plan out what you will do. So a lot of people say my company is offering me another 3-4 years of work. That's like short-term few things because you know the organization and therefore you don't have to learn anything and you can quickly get things done for the company. And hopefully planning for good health is part of that program. I think most important is planning for good health, otherwise you won't enjoy life anymore. So I just feel there are many dimensions to even planning a second innings. It's not just shall I do something. It's about being healthy, taking care of your finances, taking care of your time. You feel you're doing something worthwhile, purposeful, and meaningful for yourself. It may be a second job or a activity. Or it could be just hobbies and learning something new. I have a feeling a mixture of everything together is better than just one dimension again. Actually, I'm practicing all traveling.
One thing I would like to interrupt here, that all this awakening, like you said, that, plan for your health, plan for your financial stability and all all this awakening, okay, let me talk in your reference only. Did it actually strike to you 10, 15 years before, or was it nearing your retirement time? Like when
No,
does, we all, this is desirable that we want that we should prepare ourselves, but our daily routine, our daily work keeps us so engrossed कि वो retirement planning takes a backseat. We are all in that mode to, meet our daily requirements and all. So when does this awakening happen?
It's a good question. I mean, I won't say I was planning for it on a day-to-day basis, and I don't mean it that way. But somewhere, I think once you reach your 50s, perhaps, you must have an idea that 10 years from now or 15 years from now, you will be retiring. Some people retire at 58, 60, 65, whatever. I know a lot of people. You must have heard of them too, I'm sure. Retirement happens, they haven't planned. Suddenly, life has become totally different. And they feel purposeless, unwanted. I don't know what are all the negative words you can.
They get in that loneliness. Inertia
and like you feel you're worthless.
Negativity
now.
Comes in. Yeah.
Correct. And I have seen people deteriorate. I mean, health-wise, attitude-wise,
they become quiet. Yes.
Right?
Their confidence shakes.
All of you have seen at least few. I have seen a lot of them in my family, uncles and whatever, friends, fathers. And I always said, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me. That's definitely the back of my mind, this was there. And so perhaps maybe that helped in taking that bit of planning seriously. Why does retirement have to be with a job ending at 60 or whatever your age that is? I mean, your life given to you is from birth to death, right? My dad, by the way, passed away at 96 and he was active till he was 94. So, I mean, he was doing tuitions, by the way. Just time pass tuition. He was teaching the cobbler's son to pass SSC for free. And he was doing it. He said, so I will read and my mind will work.
Yes, correct. So, sir, thank you for sharing these pearls of wisdom. And I would say people in their 40s and 50s, get up and start planning your retirement. Start planning what you need to do to take care of your health physically, financially, and mentally. And people who have already retired from their job, don't sit. Like sir said, there is so much to learn, so much to explore. So I again remind you all, get up and get started. Thank you, sir, for sharing these pearls of wisdom with our viewers today.
Yeah, thank you very much.